Welcome back to Knack, baby. So, chapter 2-4, Over the Lake. Over the lake.
Well, three parts of this already. I'm knackered of this game. Seriously.
But leaves the music.
Yeah. I dare say the music's as good as Rise of Lyrics.
Rise of Lyric actually had a tune I could remember
in the
though.
previous part.
Yeah. The difference is that Rise of Lyric was done by Richard Jack, so it at least had some tunes I could remember. This is just downright cinematic, and not the good kind of cinematic.
The only tracks in Rise of Lyric that I find memorable are the main theme and the one that plays, during that cutscene with Sonic and Amy, where Amy's admiring the scenery.
I also remember the Metal Sonic boss fight theme.
You know, it's interesting that a couple of Richard Jack. I must say he doesn't make memorable themes when he has all the time in the world, but some of the more memorable tracks he's made, the ones where he's on a time limit, like when he had to redo that Shinobi Games music from scratch because the European producers weren't impressed with the original ones. And then there was also Sonic 3D Flicky's Island for the Saturn.
And of course, Sonic CD.
Yeah.
Boy, Richard Jack just tends to get assigned to those cases, doesn't he?
Yeah, the ones where he has to do the score in like 5 minutes or something.
And where there's like different versions of them based on which country they release in. Is he like just a specialist for that?
I guess, because the score he did for Shinobi X was only released in Europe, and the the Saturn one you get everywhere, but yeah.
Oh no, free bugs!
In fact, Trevor, if I showed you the Shinobi scores.
No.
Oh great, I cannot break that rock unless I kill the bugs first.
You know,
I might show you a few tracks for comparison after we're done.
You know, unless this is a scenario like Ant-Man, bugs really shouldn't be giving that much of a problem. Unless they're huge, and it's Pokemon.
Considering that Marvel's branching out now into giving multiple game publishers projects of their properties, I mean, who would you think would handle an Ant-Man game?
It's something about size and everything.
I mean,
that's just the thing.
The sad thing is that the first thing that comes.
Definitely not everything.
Yes, Trevor?
You know, the sad thing is that when we mentioned Ant-Man, I immediately realized the comparison to Knack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get Japan Studio to do it.
Traveler's Tale. Okay. Traveler's Tales would be the easy way out.
Yeah, but that's implying they can even do anything outside of Lego anymore.
Wow, yeah, that's what I meant.
Because Warner Bros. Bought them.
Oh, didn't they still do the Lego Marvel games anyway, and the Lego...
Yeah, it's more so they just do Lego stuff. The kind of Lego stuff varies. It's just well.
I wish they could do something other. I mean, in addition to the Lego games, because the Lego games are fine, but I know that Traveler's Tales are capable of doing even other stuff.
Plot twist: Activision gets them to redo to do the HD remaster of Crash Wrath of Cortex.
Sure, why not?
And or Twinsanity.
Okay, Twinsanity needs a remake, complete with that content.
And less.
Wrath of Cortex, they could do in like, they could just touch it up a little bit.
I think the thing with Wrath of Cortex is like, well, even with a remaster, that game's problems are still gonna be there.
Yeah, it's still crash free.
I died.
The way Pedro died, those goblins.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knack and Goblins. The
sequel
to Ghost of Goblins.
Am I ahead of you guys? I'm at 432, 43.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're in the same time as us.
No, I think I'm a bit behind. Don't worry, I'll fix that.
Because Tail reacted to the death quite a bit after I died. So.
Don't worry, I'll fix it accordingly.
Maybe some delayed reaction, something like that.
You know, for comparison's sake, Ghost and
Oh
Goblin.
my god, the combat is so boring. Go ahead, Jova.
You
Sorry,
know,
I have to get that out of my system.
I'm gonna compare this to Ghosts and Goblins, one of the most infamous NES games ever. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins is really, really, really dumb hard with how
Also,
you
Jova,
can
it
easily
was
die.
NES. The SNES game was Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Also, too,
That's
so
what
you
I
need time-
said, the NES.
I thought you said the SNES, but whatever, go on.
Anyway,
You need a time. Hold on, Jova. You need a time too.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
in Ghosts and Goblins, yeah, you could get hit easily, but here's something that Ghosts and Goblins did better.
Bombs.
Ghosts and Goblins at least actually gave you proper power-ups to deal with enemies. Like, Ghosts and Goblins actually rewarded you for getting better at the game so that you could actually level up, except for the final boss where if you wanted the true ending, you had to play with the bracelet.
Jova, that happens only in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. In the one for the NES, you get no such luxury.
No. Some of the weapons were good in Ghosts and Goblins. Again, not
Yeah,
as...
but their situation on the last level rolls all the fucking plays with it. Trust me, Jova. I had to beat that fucking game for a Halloween challenge anyway, so I know it.
Well, Tio, I know. I even acknowledged how they force you to use a certain weapon for the final boss.
Yeah,
What?
but trust me, but in Super Ghouls and Ghosts it's much better because you get the power up, the golden armor and everything. In the first Ghosts and Goblins, you're stuck with your shitty first armor.
Hold on, cutscene.
Almost there. We can check out the Goblin Fort from the top of that rise.
Who voices Bigger Knack?
You know,
I
maybe
don't.
I should spend a little more
I think
time
he's like,
staying in shape.
judging from the way his name is spelled, he's probably like Indian or something. Cause I don't know him from anywhere. Anyway, we've arrived at the Goblin Fortress.
Alrighty? Wow.
In case
And
you
all
confuse
right. I want to take a wild guess. What's their plan for invading?
Charging guns blazing.
The gate's open. Let's go down there and take a look.
Believe it or not, their plan is even stupider.
It's time to wrap this up and go
They're just gonna
home.
go home.
We're
No,
certainly not going
Dwibs,
to
they're
learn
just
anything
going
more
to
by standing
calmly
around
and
up here.
slowly enter through the front door and announce themselves to be here to bring some payback.
Wait over here and
Yeah,
know
I
that
can-
the
I can
That's
imagine
that's their plan.
Look
I
after
can't tell how that's gonna go.
wise to go in?
Hello,
They have to know
we're
we're
here to
coming.
check out your car.
Oh my
Would you
god,
mind letting
Lucas
us-
is calling it.
Doing it.
Would you mind letting us in?
Oh, trust me, Jova. Lucas is the only character in this game that actually has a brain.
Yeah, I know. I love what Lucas said. Are you sure this is a wise idea? And then he says,
Exactly.
Lucas, if it wasn't wise, I wouldn't be doing it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're gonna see this.
all right, guys, forgot this part. I want you guys to pay attention. Why? Because there's going to be a gigantic. Oh, wait, is it in this part? I forgot.
What's Cloud's sword doing here?
Yeah. There, it's a rip-off Buster Sword.
No, never mind. I think it's in the next
And
part.
what are you doing in my village?
You attacked a human settlement. Did you think there would be no consequences?
Consequences? The consequence is I got lots of relics and sunstones and other good stuff.
And other good
some
stuff.
unexpected visitors. Are you all they sent?
Enough. The high-tech
Why,
armaments
Jova?
of
Why is the
Europe
villain
are
putting
more
out the
than
stupidity
capable.
of our
Tanks
heroes?
are very impressive pieces of machinery. We were wondering
Because he
where
doesn't
I
know
got
what
them. Is
Knack
that
can
what you're
do, and...
Won't say. But since you're so interested,
So yeah, basically.
I just
those
realized
tanks
something,
actually
Pedro.
hold on, Jova. This is important. Those tanks actually remind Vargas of his wife's designs. And he asks, so where did you get these tanks? I won't say. Gee, I wonder where the goblins got those tanks. Anyway. Hey, Teo.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think our invasion plan was fucking stupid. What do you think?
It's proof. It's proof.
foolproof.
Yeah, it's foolproof.
I mean, even Snow's plans, for as stupid as they were, at the very least made more sense than this.
So...
Oh, the fish, the Willem Dafoe fish from Finding Nemo
Let's
was.
go see
Chapter 3-1, another way in.
I
Alright,
just
so Knack
realized
and
something.
Lucas are gonna try and get through another route. Go ahead, Joe.
Guys, wasn't Knack supposed to be our ace in the hole? The thing to put us on equal ground with the goblins?
You figured that one out, Joe.
No. That's not what I'm getting at, though. Okay, Knack's our secret weapon. Our thing to actually get the goblins to listen to us. What do? Leave him outside the gate. Like, you know, that's supposed to be...
It's so that he can come back with the epic entrance later on. Also boomerangs.
It's like Mark forgot what kind of story he was actually writing.
I mean, you know, he's your new invention and everything, and you leave him outside the gate. Look, if you're that afraid, maybe you shouldn't have brought him in the first place. Maybe he's delicate. Oh wait, that's right, he is delicate.
For the record, in this particular game, Mark is the only writer. He did get a co-writer for the sequel, but in this particular one, he's the sole writer.
Anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier, Tio, yes. I know about the Ghosts and Goblins stuff, don't worry. I've seen some Call Me Johnny's review, heck, I even played some of those games too. But yeah, my point being is like, well, Ghosts and Goblins actually, minuscule as it was, rewarded you for playing better. Here, you don't, okay, the power-ups don't even do squat, like, you know, and by power-ups, I mean, you know, getting bigger. Like, you'd think that'd do more, but no, that doesn't even do stuff. You've gotta play this game pinpoint right. Like,
oh, trust me, Jova, we're gonna get Ice Snack in this part, so we're gonna have plenty to talk about that.
Oh, great.
They sure don't want anybody getting near the village.
Oh no, these defenses that can totally stop an advanced being like Knack, who may I remind you is a magnet. If it hurts the magnet
the sound effect is the same in one of the Crash Bandicoot games of Charming.
How cute.
I guess it's a stock.
Mark Cerny.
Remember, again, this was supposed to be the spores take on Crash, but eventually, but we got Crash back later on anyway, so now this is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But guys,
you had to ask Activision nicely for it, but still.
But Dwibs, for a segment of time, it outsold Super Mario 3D World.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Pedro, Nintendo getting outsold on something in the UK. That's a shock.
I hope you're happy, Dwibs. We have your country to thank for the sequel.
Yep.
Well, again, Pedro, Nintendo's never been #1 around here unless it's for a handheld.
Not to mention, not to mention, 3D World was on the Wii U, so obviously, yeah.
Well, Dwibs, lately Nintendo has been #1 in your country with the Switch.
Layton.
Later.
Nintendo.
I said lately.
Well, Layton has always been #1 in the UK. That's where it sells the
I
most.
wasn't talking about Layton.
Also, these movies.
No. But, well, yeah, I guess that's what happens when you actually market the bloody thing properly.
Yeah,
A similar
have
thing
to
also
agree there.
happened.
Wow! Oh no!
Fuck you, Mark.
So,
Fuck you.
let me get this straight. The ever-advanced being was outdone by a simple trap that dropped spikes. Never
It's
mind.
Metal Gear 1 all over again.
Again,
Except Metal Gear 1 had the excuse it was made in 1987.
Again. I really have to stress this. This is one of those parts where gameplay and story segregation just goes too far. Again, they established Knack as pretty much a living magnet. So you need stuff that actually hurts the magnet directly. Like seriously, if he gets hit, any other parts of him should just fall off and then rejoin back to him because he's a magnet.
Fortunately, they would actually fix that in the sequel. This is the problem, though. That should have been how you should have designed the game to begin with.
I forget, was it about them actually explaining or them actually having enemies use weapons that make sense?
What happens is, Jova, in the sequel, if you get hurt, you lose relics. However, if you manage to not get hurt for a bit, the relics will eventually come back to you.
Wow. Yeah, they really should have done that in the first place. In fact, I think that they're...
How did Knack 2 do in the sales?
Let's just say
I'm pretty sure it
Dwibs...
didn't do anything. There's like zero interest. in the
Dwibs?
sequel. Let me check.
Dwibs? In Japan, it sold less than 1% that the original Knack did.
I'm checking
And
right
that's
now.
just
See.
Japan.
Knack 2 sales for Japan are incredibly low. Gee, who would have predicted that?
Well, I found
Anyway.
I found the UK sales. Oh wait, this is about
This is
well,
the first week.
well, yeah.
In the first week, it sold 67,000 units.
Jesus.
Well,
That's not much.
when Knack debuted here in the UK in 12th on the week it came out, So basically, it did worse than, as I predicted, it did worse than Crash Bandicoot and Saint Trilogy. That was number 6 at the time.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing here, the sequel hasn't even reached 0.10 million units.
That's sad.
Well, at the very least, hopefully that will mean that this franchise will fucking die, so we can hopefully move on to different things.
Well,
Help,
Pedro,
help.
if
The Mario Rabbids crossover sold more.
Anyway,
well, Pedro, if that's
cutscene.
sorry.
Yeah, but that's a lot of goblins to fight through.
Alright, I'll look up Knack's voice actor.
Well, I was thinking. See these broken icicles? I wonder if you could bulk up with these rather than relics. They're about the right size.
The doctor says that's not possible.
Well, the doctor was the same idiot who walked into that fortress, so let's give it a try.
Material of the relics.
Not just, it's not even just that, Jova.
Well,
So you're telling me that this ancient artifact that Knack is made of, his core specifically, turns out the arcane energies can just drag in anything that's tiny, not just relics.
See?
Oh my
Nothing
god.
that one moved.
And why wouldn't the doctor find this out himself if he's been studying Knack for 20 years?
Also,
So Lucas, who is, I remind is a young one who, as far as we know, is just an apprentice still, somehow managed to figure more about how Knack works than the guy who's been studying Knack for 20 years.
and also, you're gonna tell me that in all these tests, all the years in helping put Knack together, making him,
Chapter 3-2, Abominable Knack.
so you're gonna tell me that all this time with Knack, nothing ever got attracted to him that was just the right piece and size? Because that's apparently how it works. They have to be just the right size and shape of a relic. You're telling me that nothing, no particles ever except relics, fit the bill.
Okay, Tara, so you're probably wondering, what does Ice Knack do? Ice Knack doesn't do anything aside from normal Knack.
Well,
I'm not even kidding.
He
He has no ice abilities of any kind. He's literally just Big Knack, just with ice, except the difference is that if you go into a sunny area, you start melting and therefore lose HP.
Oh, but Pedro, he gives you an extended health bar.
But it's okay,
Yeah.
but it's okay too. It's okay, because in the sequel, Knack will have ice breath.
I'm guessing they use these just to make sure that the caverns were not like relics everywhere in every single level.
I wonder if Mark Cerny just forgot to put that
No,
stuff.
I mean, no, not really too. The sequel does things pretty much the same, except with actual ice power, so...
Well, I'm talking about the development of this one.
I don't know. To quote Dark Lord Shadow 1's review. So, Mark, it took you 2 games to finally come up with the idea of the ice form does something related to ice.
Like, seriously, if anything, these power-ups are downgrades. Like, seriously, the only one thing that's beneficial is an extended health bar. And if Pedro does show off, that extended health bar does jack squat.
Yes, it does, because even you're probably thinking, okay, now with all that health plus ice, maybe now you can actually die in less than 2 to 3 hits? No! Knack still gets hurt plenty by the enemies. Again, what's the point of a different form if it doesn't do shit?
You know what's even worse, honestly? What was the point of this form story-wise? No, I mean, seriously, what was the point? Like, what? His plan was to get bigger. They don't even know where they are. And besides...
Not just that... Quiet.
Besides, for all they know, the enemies Knack can deal with just fine. Because, you know, he's pretty much dealt with it just fine, so, again, what reason do they have to make him bigger immediately there?
I don't know. Mark wanted big... well, I can tell you, Jova, what the reason for it in the sequel. In the sequel, we do it for the sake of a pun, where Knack says, and I quote, "Ice is nice." Huh? Get it?
Well,
Get it? Huh?
Well, Pedro, here he said I'm getting chills.
Oh, never mind then. He did it in this one too. I actually forgot about that line.
One of the writers, the co-writer of the sequel, wrote most of the God of War games.
Do you give this... Okay.
Sorry, Tara. Now we're dragging the God of War writer into this shit.
Well...
Makes sense when for the QTs and the dodge roll tied to the right analog stick.
I will give the sequel this. It at least had a story that was, it had a story that was
So
okay.
you're telling me that Santa Monica
Not
got involved?
really, but I'm gonna get into details.
Well,
about-
okay. I'd say it's just okay, and like and like it barely reaches that threshold.
For me, it's just like honestly, if you ask me, aside from finally explaining the lore that this game for some reason does not explore, even though it's one of the big reasons why the story even happens. Aside from explaining the lore, the story, if you ask me, is just as bad. Honestly, it's just as cliche. In fact, the villain is just as cartoonish as the villain in this.
I guess
But anyway,
the reason
we'll
I
get-
found
we'll
the
get to the
sequel
sequel, I
okay
guess.
was the fact that it actually finished up a plot point that this game, I kid you not, Tio, is going to abandon.
Yeah. And actually, that's the thing, Jovan. Gundahar doesn't even falls from that wall, and then it disappears from the game again. We never actually defeat Gundahar for good in any of these games.
I mean, I think the sequel actually did say that the goblins are done for, but...
For the record, for the sake of Dibs and Teo, Gundahar is the leader of the goblins, which is a villain that we're gonna meet later.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, this zone, there's snow.
It's boring, like every other. Look, see, there you
Wow.
go. I'm almost out of ice.
Like, seriously, you know, okay. You know, there's
The Ice Cave dungeon in Final Fantasy IX was way better.
You know, here's another thing I don't get. Okay, so when you stand in sunlight, you tend to melt and whatnot. Why don't they make it that when you actually stand on snow or ice, that makes you stronger?
Here's an idea. Here's a little ability. Here's a little ability you could have had to Ice Snack in both sequels. Make Ice Snack not slip on ice. That would have been a cool ability to have.
Yeah.
These power-ups suck. And trust me, Teo, the other power-ups that you'll see later on are not any better.
I dare say they're even worse. Especially... Well, actually, which would you say was the worst one, Pedro?
For me, the worst is by far Woodknack. I have no idea what the hell they were thinking with Woodknack. It's literally, I'm not even kidding. With wood, in the sections where you use Woodknack, you're always losing health gradually. Why? Because fire burns wood, and that particular level is full of fire.
For me, the worst one was Metal Knack, because, yeah, let's give you a power-up that does nothing except impair your progress. Like, okay, you think it's bad that Ice Knack doesn't make you have better traction on ice? Well, Metal Knack has it so that you're constantly getting drawn into these squares of death. Yeah. Like, wow. Did you actually read a book about power-ups? Like, okay, look, I'd understand that they give you weaknesses, but that's the thing. There's only notable weaknesses. The extended health bar does not count because it does Jack Squad. What's the point of a power-up if it does nothing good?
Imagine if the cape in Super Mario World did nothing at all aside from being cosmetic.
Or heck, imagine if the Mega Mushroom Mario did nothing except kill you because you got elephantitis.
It's a new look for me.
The Mega
What do you
Poison
think?
Mushroom, maybe?
Well, the Mega
Might be
Poison
dangerous
Mushroom
too,
would poison
But
you.
I'm gonna have to hustle once I get out there.
Oh, yeah,
I figure I've got
that's the
less
perfect
than a
comparison.
minute
It's
before
like
the
if
sun
every
melts me back
power-up in a
down to
Mario
size.
game just
Well,
were
a minute
the
might be
Mega
enough.
Mushroom.
See the 3 crossbars on the gate?
Uh-huh.
The mechanisms that control them?
Mm-hmm.
Those are your targets.
Got it.
I love how Knack is so stupid that Lucas has to tell him, by the way, in order to open the door, you're supposed to press the door switch.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so yeah, starting with this particular section, I'm supposed to go through 3 different paths to get to the 3 switches, like Lucas said. And since there's sunny in here, that means now I'm gradually losing health. So yeah, whatever used the... Now the ice form is even more useless.
Also, did you guys notice that? Knack got dispersed, but then the ice came back to him. It literally comes back to him, but just still lose bits in health.
Down. 2 to go.
Alright, every time we finish one of the switches, we get back to this particular section. I guess Lucas is a teleport device. I don't know how that happens. Now we're supposed to go through another path. Actually, is this the same one? No, it's
I guess to be fair, story-wise, it makes sense that they're using ice because there's no relics around, conveniently.
I get that, but
Still
honestly...
stupid.
It's not even the... I don't have a problem with the story explanation. I just have a problem with the fact that this power-up does nothing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not only does it do nothing, when I'm in the sun, I lose health all the time, because that's fun.
Fun is fun.
I think Jim Sterling put it best in his Knack 2 review. One of when you realize that it would probably be much more fun to control the goblins rather than controlling Knack, that's when you realize that this game was built entirely with the wrong foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously, because the goblins actually look like they have cool guns and weapons.
Yeah.
So, can I play as the goblins, please? They look like they could be fun to use. But yeah, once again, Pedro, yet another example of the CPU getting all the cool toys while we get jack shit.
Also, I love how you clearly were able to jump over the height of that fence, but invisible walls wouldn't let you.
Don't you see, Jova? Invisible walls are the pinnacle of platforming and game design.
Like, seriously, I don't think even Crash Bandicoot 1 had that many blatant invisible
Oh, look at
walls.
that! I lost all of my eyes.
Which is actually a good thing.
Hmm.
In regards to you losing health, I mean.
And I died in one hit.
So there you go, folks. In order to properly beat the huger mooks, you need to have all your ice. While your ice is melting.
Fortunately, the checkpoint system in this game works just like in Rise of Lyric, and whatever enemies you killed are still dead, so, well, aside from these three. So I can just walk straight to the boss this time. However, I still managed to lose a lot of ice there. There you go.
Could you guys give me a time?
It's almost
Go
almost
ahead
over.
to-
Well, it's almost
26.
over, so just sit tight. Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
Well, what if I
Fall
missed a cut?
down already.
Twiddly-dee, twiddly-doo, whatever. And there we go, we opened the door.
Which is totally not
Open
Native
the
Fortress.
door.
I wonder if that's where they keep the relics and all the other things they stole.
Hope so. It's been slim picking so far.
I'll see you over there. Looks like you'll need to take the long way. Sorry.
Of course we take the long way. Lucas, do you have any on your other hook shots with you?
Jesus, Lucas, I know you're Spider-Man, but share some of that tech with us.
Don't you just love it too when a game flat out tells you in your face, sorry, you're gonna have to take the boring long way instead of using a cool hook shot to get to the place you want to
Hey,
go.
here's an idea. Why not Knack just shrink down and go in with Lucas?
It's like this game is literally making fun. This game is not only does this game make me feel stupid for playing it, it flat out tells me I'm stupid for playing it. Okay, everybody, tune in for the next part where we finally race to big, huge Knack for the very first time in this game. So
Alright.
that should be
Alright.
fun, hopefully.
Question mark.
All right, see you, everybody.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you.